Yes, once again, very warm welcome in Lisanics for my e-lecture. Today, I'm going to talk about a new topic, that is diglossia. This topic also comes under the umbrella of sociolinguistics, as in series we have been discussing different topics which come under the scope of sociolinguistics. Today, our focus is on diglossia. Dia means two. If we talk about the etymology of this word, the diglossia, this word has been derived from Greek word, and that is diglossis. It means state of being bilingual. Bilingual means the person who has got capability to use two languages at the same time. If any person can use two languages, that person is known as bilingual. Or bilingualism, a situation where a linguistic situation in which two languages are used, that is called as bilingualism. So diglossia is not an individual concept, rather this is a social concept. It belongs to a particular speech community. A single person is not related to diglossia. Overall, we will evaluate a linguistic situation of a society or of a community. So the very first person, that was the Charles Ferguson. In 1959, he introduced and he used for the first time the term diglossia. So the definition of this term diglossia, it means a linguistic situation. This is a linguistic situation. It is all about the use of language in community, in society, in speech community, in which two distinct languages, for example, let me make it clear with the help of example from our local context. Being a Pakistani and we live in Punjab, at the moment I belong to Punjab. So number of languages are being used in Punjab, right? And specifically when we talk about our local context in Sargodha, we see Punjabi language is there, Urdu language is there, and English is also used in different contexts, in different language domains. So we are multilingual persons. So it doesn't mean that only this concept is related to bilingual society. More than one language or more than one variety of language is necessary to exist in linguistic situation for diglossic situation. A linguistic situation in which two distinct languages, for example Urdu and Punjabi, these are two distinct languages which exist in our society, are two varieties of the same language. For example, if we talk about Urdu language, Urdu that is used in Lahore different from that Urdu that is being used in Faisalabad or in Sargodha. Or if we talk about the Punjabi, there are certain varieties. You must understand the concept of variety. This is the variety means sub-part of language that is a bit different on the basis of phonological characteristics and grammatical characteristics and the choice of vocabulary. These 3 points are important for the formation of any variety of language, right? What are those 3 points? Let me once again recall those 3 points. One is the variety is certain combination of certain characteristics based upon grammatical differences and pronunciation, phonological differences, and third one is lexical choices, vocabulary. So varieties of the same language are used in the same linguistic community. We are forming a linguistic community, people who live in Punjab. This is a complete speech community, right? By the same speakers, right? One variety will be regarded as higher variety, while the other will be considered as low variety, right? And there are different functions which have been assigned by the society in particular speech community for higher variety of language and for lower variety of language. There are certain common features and uses of high variety and low variety. One variety is considered, or one variety enjoys high prestige in the society, and the other variety, lower variety, that is considered as less prestigious as compared to the higher one. For example, if we compare Urdu and Punjabi, which language is considered high prestigious, which is given more worthy language, more respected language, of course, Urdu. If we compare Punjabi and Urdu language, people feel sometimes a sense of inferiority complex while using Punjabi language. So Punjabi language has got different functions. It is considered as low variety, and Urdu language is considered as high variety, and it has got different functions. So Punjabi language being a low variety, this is a diglossic situation of Pakistan in Punjab, right? And Urdu language has got different functions. So keep in mind these two languages, Punjabi and Urdu, and this is not only specific for Punjabi and Urdu. Any other language, there are a number of diglossic situations in different countries. For example, if we talk about the Saudi Arabia or different other countries in which Arabic language is being spoken. So one is classical form of Arabic, right, that is used in literature, that is the Arabic of Quran, and that particular classical Arabic is learned in school, and grammar is focused and structure is learned of that language, and higher strata of the society use that language. But another Arabic that is used in market, in daily life, in family life, that is considered as low variety. Higher Arabic, classical Arabic, that is considered as, the name of that variety is Fusha, right? So that is the variety of Arabic language. One variety is considered higher, that is Fusha, and it has different functions, and the other one is colloquial Arabic, daily language, which is being used in our society, in Arabic society. So there are some important points that we can discuss out of this definition. One is higher and lower varieties should belong to the same language, according to the Ferguson, right? If we talk about the varieties, for example, if we compare the dialects or the varieties of Punjabi language, Chachi variety, Machi variety, there are number, almost 6 varieties are there of Punjabi language, right? So these two varieties belong to the same language, right? And if we talk about English language, Chinese English a bit different from Pakistani English, from Indian English, from Canadian English. So all these varieties belong to the same language. So for diglossic situation, high and low variety should belong to the same language. Other point is low variety is learnt as mother tongue. In Pakistani context, we learn Punjabi as our native tongue, as our mother tongue by the birth. If we talk Urdu language, almost 7% people, according to the research in 2017, only 7% people of Pakistan use Urdu language, and in Punjab mostly people have Punjabi as their mother tongue. High variety is learnt at school, of course, because high variety has a well structured form and low variety is flexible and structured, right? You need to keep in mind this point. I haven't written why it is learnt, because well structured. High variety is learnt in the form of grammar or different structures, and different rules and regulations are learnt in the schools. Why? Because it is well structured form of language. The variety which is considered as high one, that has well structured form. Knowledge of the grammar, of course, grammar is very strong and in a very well mannered, learned in the school or colleges or different other academic institutions. So speakers learn the grammar of high variety. That is why we see classical Arabic is taught in different religious institutions in the form of surf and now morphology and syntax. So the speaker of low variety, if we talk about how many of you have learned the grammar of Punjabi language, I think there is no one who has learned the grammar of Punjabi language, rules and regulations of Punjabi language. Just we have learned it from generation to another generation. It moved from one generation to another generation, from society, from the environment we have learned this language. No knowledge of the grammar of low variety. The speaker of the low variety has no knowledge of the grammar, because grammar is not well structured form. Low variety is flexible. It keeps on changing. Why it keeps on changing? Because it is not governed by a well-structured grammar. On the other hand, high variety is governed by the well-structured grammar. That is why that is a bit constant and that remains stable, and it is flexible. Low variety of language is flexible. It keeps on changing with the passage of time. Low form is considered as corrupted form of language. Sometimes people think that the variety which is considered as low form, they think this is the corrupted form, ill form of the main language. There are certain uses, certain functions in different linguistic language domains which are performed by the help of low variety and high variety. For example, the variety which is considered as high, of course, that variety will perform higher functions in the society. Uses of higher variety: in higher education we use, in business, in newspaper, in media broadcast and sermons and formal lectures, and it is also present in written form. Sometimes we see the lower variety is only present in spoken form. This is an important point. And low variety is used in everyday life, in home, when we, these are different domains, right? Home is a different, family is a different domains, and in that domain most of the time we use Punjabi language. As you see, our students mostly use Urdu language in schools, but at the very moment when they go their homes, they start speaking Punjabi. And those speakers who belong to Pashto, they use Urdu language in school, but at the very moment when they go to their homes, they start using their native tongue. That is considered as a low variety. Street, marketplaces, among friends, and that is used in spoken form mostly. There may be the written form of lower variety, but in many cases the lower form of the variety doesn't have written form of the language. This is all about the diglossia. It is a very simple concept. Any linguistic situation in which two languages are used, are the two varieties of the same language is being used, and one variety is considered high variety and the other variety is considered as a lower variety. This is the concept of diglossia. Stay connected with Lisanics, and in next lecture we'll talk about an extended concept of diglossia that is given by Fishman. Thank you so much for your precious time. Please.